It's exhausting these days, the way the world is, the direction the world's gone in. It's more strenuous than it used to be. Sometimes they come out more hardcore punk. We have a new album coming out next year, so maybe with that we can get some momentum for.
Definitely. Yeah.
For many years, I was an avid birdwatcher.
Hi Jason, pleasure to have you on Sinusoidal Music. I think you were here in Wacken back in 2004, so how has it changed since then?
It's hard to remember, but I guess it's gotten bigger. It must have. It seems like there are a few more stages now. The area is massive, but I remember it being massive back then too, and just being overwhelmed, because it's like when the band first started, it was like one of our first times over here, and just blown away by how, especially at that time, metal was so big and thriving in Europe, and because we didn't have festivals like this in the US at that time. So
yeah. So how do you think the metal scene is in the US and Europe at the moment? Do you think it's better now in Europe, better in the US?
Europe's always been stronger.
Yeah.
I mean, the combined market, I guess, with Germany, it's massive. I mean, as is evidenced by, most German regions have their own big festivals. Every weekend through the summer, you can find a massive metal fest somewhere, and most European countries. So there are some festivals in the US, but US is still dominated. Like, metal isn't like a dominant, it's a niche kind of rock form in the US. Strong, but it's still niche. But there's some festivals, modest-sized festivals and a couple bigger ones. But Europe still remains, I think, the biggest area for.
Got it. Yeah. So talking about your latest release, Feral Impulse, it's about reclaiming, a feral relationship with nature. So can you tell us anything about the composition, and is that a personal philosophy or is it a reaction to something specific?
It's just where my own thinking's going lately. Like, it's exhausting these days, the way the world is, the direction the world's gone in, and it's really sad because you can't really have balanced discussions about things like politics. Everything is really, really divided, and it's painful to even try to even negotiate that kind of stuff. And I've covered a lot of that stuff in the lyrics before anyway, so I've kind of reverted back to a more environmentalist kind of position or standing, and that's the dominant theme, and it's going to be the new album next year, humankind's relationship with nature and how it's reached this point of no return in some ways, and without politicizing it too much, just talking about the basics of how we exist. We feel like we exist outside of nature in our cities and our areas, and nature is national parks and things like that, but really it's something which is all around us all the time. And it's the total imbalance of that relationship that causes us to think, so in a very fragmented way about how we negotiate our way in the world.
Yeah.
But it's hard because there's so many distractions, and people are trying to make a living and pay the bills and things like that. So I just want to talk about those basic things. So Feral Future, long way to get back to that part of the question, but it's a way of stepping back and maybe as a way of helping to reverse this environmental decline, to have a more direct relationship, more feral relationship with nature.
Yeah. So in the same vein, do you think artists should take a stand publicly, or should the music speak for itself? It's tricky.
It's up to the artists, whatever they want. The thing is, artists are also citizens of countries, and they have a voice, and so people who say that artists shouldn't talk about politics, I don't understand that, because everyone has a voice and a right to express their opinion. Some artists want to do that, you have your Napalm Deaths and things like that, who have very opinions about the world, and they want to channel it through their music, as do I, and I have. But I like a lot of bands that have other more traditional metal themes or something. It's just however you want to express yourself, I think. I think there's room for it all, for sure.
You handle both vocals and the bass in such a intense, metal genre. So how do you, manage that physically, and is it very strenuous at this?
It's more strenuous than it used to be.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
Yeah.
There's a lot more aches and pains that weren't there
Yeah.
you know, a few decades ago.
Yeah.
But you know, we manage. We still hold it together, I think.
Yeah.
Try to take care of ourselves
Yeah.
and be healthy and
Yeah.
and
so
see if we can get a few more years out of this.
it's been 25 years around that. So
Yeah.
what keeps the band running? Is it discipline? It's been a solid lineup for a really
Pretty
long
much,
time, which
yeah.
is kind of rare. Yeah.
I guess we all get along great. We're all on the same page, you know, as far as our expectations of the band. You know, we were a lot more full time in the first 10 years. Last 10 years, we have started families, we have kids. You know, we have, obviously that brings more urgency to other forms of income and finding work in other ways, because we would have to tour full time to make any kind of living out of this music. But we don't want to do that because, you know, we want to be with our families some of the time. So we found a balance. You know, we try to do as much as we can with the time we have.
What core elements of Misery Index remain like non-negotiable over the years from a compositional point of view? And do you like to change some things here and there, or you like sticking to the,
We're open to all ideas. It's just kind of like, it just comes down to the basic like riff writing. Like when I or myself or Darren or Mark write, it's like, you know, if we have some good hooky riffs, that's the foundation. Sometimes they come out more hardcore punk. Sometimes they have, you know, more grind, or sometimes more total death metal. But that's the spectrum we're working in, I guess.
Yeah.
Those kind of genres. We kind of take bits and pieces of them all, I guess.
So we're a media house from India. So has a thought run by for playing in India, or has it run by the band at any point?
It would be great. It's difficult because we don't, you know, even within the band, we don't live in the same cities. I live in a different country. I live in Finland. The other guys live in the U.S. So we manage to put these things together, and every day matters. So if we did some kind of tour in Asia, hopefully we could work that in. And then we have a new album coming out next year, so maybe with that we can get some momentum for.
Definitely.
Looking forward.
Right.
So, with the band, you being in Finland and the others in the US, so how does preparation happen for a festival like this? It must be a bit.
Everyone does their homework.
It's just
Plays, you know, we get this plan the set, everyone practices. I have a rehearsal space where I go and play and I sing through the PA right along to the songs. So when we do meet up, we had 2 rehearsals before this. We had a show in Helsinki 2 days ago, and then we had today. So
this is just a quick short segment of, it's just a bit fun. So I just ask in the band, who's the most dash? So you can let us know who it is. So in the band, who's the most organized?
most organized.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe, I guess I am. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it's perfectly within our records.
Because I do all the logistics and
Yeah.
pre-production,
It's definitely
and
challenging.
advancing.
Yeah.
So
Press.
yeah, for now, yeah.
The best cook.
The best cook.
Yeah.
Maybe Mark. I think Mark's probably, he cooks. I think Adam's good with the grill.
The best dancer.
Dancer.
Dancer, yeah.
I don't know. I haven't seen any of those guys dance before, so
Yeah, it's not.
maybe the drummer Adam, since he's got the groove. So maybe.
Yeah. Who cracks the best jokes? Who's the funny
Definitely
guy?
Adam.
He's a funny guy.
Yeah, he's always in a humorous mood.
Who's the most punctual and who's the most laid back and late, usually?
I'm all about punctuality. Adam's pretty laid back and known to be late.
Just the last question. So, outside of music, what would people think that something you would not do? Like, is there a special hobby you have, or which is outside music?
Well, for many years, I was an avid birdwatcher.
Oh, nice.
Wow.
I traveled for it and did a lot of things, but since I started working and I have a kid, I've definitely it's kind of faded in the background. But that's what I was known for a long time, because I have videos of me doing the bird watching thing, and people thought that was funny.
Yeah.
But
So in terms of music, what can we expect from the next album?
probably a little more of a punk vibe, I think, coming. I mean, it's still going to be Misery Index and have the same kind of stylistic
Right, yeah.
as is evidenced by Feral Future.
Yeah.
a recent single. But it'll still have some grind and death metal. So.
Definitely looking forward to the album.
Thanks.
Wish you the best of luck for it.
Thank you.
Great.
Cheers.
Cheers.